TI-83 Plus graphing calculator. It can be used for a variety of classes, starting with algebra all the way through calculus and into college math. And it can be used by students, their parents, teachers, tutors, and a variety of people. So it's a very, very useful tool for math. We're going to start by checking a couple of our modes on our calculator and becoming familiar with a few buttons that we'll need to graph a linear equation. Of course, our first step is to turn the calculator on at the bottom left. Our next thing we're going to look at is the mode of our calculator. So the mode button is found directly to the right of the yellow second key, and you want to make sure that we have everything highlighted to the left. So if you can use the arrow key and the enter key to make sure everything's highlighted. To get out of the screen and back to our home screen, we're going to press the yellow second button and the mode button to get us back to our screen. The blue y equals button will take us where we will enter our equations to be graphed. So make sure to clear out any remaining equations by pressing the clear button from your y equals screen. We're going to go back to our home screen, second mode, and next we'll check the zoom of our coordinate plane. So to do so, find the blue zoom button on the top row, and we're going to go all the way down to zoom 6, which is our standard coordinate plane, and press enter. This will be where we're going to see our equations of our lines, and it will be our standard viewing window for our equations. And again, second mode will take us back to our home screen. And finally, a few buttons that you'll need to be familiar with. Our X variable is located directly beneath the mode button, and the graph button, which will actually graph our linear equation, is on the top row of blue buttons as well. Now that we know the basic keys on the TI-83 Plus graphing calculator, we're going to go through a few examples and actually graph linear equations. We're going to start with the equation y equals 2x minus 3. We'll start with y equals and enter the equation into the calculator, remembering our variable's x key. So we have 2x minus 3. And since we set up our mode and viewing window already, all we have to do is press graph. Our next equation will be y equals 1/2 x plus 6. So we're going to get back to our y equals, clear out our first equation, and enter our new equation. So we have 1/2 x plus 6, which is also 0.5, so we don't have to worry about fractions, x plus 6. And again, graph. And finally, our last equation will be y equals 4 minus x. Our last equation, we're going to clear the second one, is 4 minus x. And again, we'll graph it and we can view our line. Now that we've learned the functions, a few familiar buttons that we'll need for graphing a linear equation, and even tried a few equations, you have the tools necessary to use your TI-83 Plus graphing calculator to graph a linear equation.